Germany's decision to order hundreds of Patria 6x6 vehicles under the Common Armoured Vehicle System program marks a quiet but profound shift in how Europe is thinking about land warfare. On the surface, the announcement looks like a straightforward procurement story. A large NATO army buying a wheeled armored vehicle equipped with modern systems such as the Nemo mortar and a remote weapon station. In reality, this decision reflects deeper lessons learned from recent conflicts, growing pressure on European armies to rebuild mass and readiness, and the emergence of Finnish defense industry as a structural pillar within NATO's ground force ecosystem. For Germany, the problem is no longer theoretical. Since 2022, the Bundeswehr has faced intense scrutiny over readiness, stockpiles, deployability, and sustainability in a high-intensity conflict. Heavy infantry fighting vehicles and main battle tanks remain essential, but they are expensive to operate, slow to produce in large numbers, and demanding in terms of logistics and maintenance. Germany needs forces that can be fielded quickly, sustained over time, and deployed across a wide range of missions, from territorial defense to alliance reinforcement on NATO's eastern flank. Quantity, availability, and interoperability have become as important as protection and firepower. This is the context in which the Patria 6x6 enters German service. Rather than pursuing another uniquely national solution, Germany has chosen to integrate into a multinational framework led by Finland. The Common Armoured Vehicle System program is not simply a joint purchase. It is an attempt to standardize a category of military mobility across multiple NATO members. Finland, Sweden, Latvia, Denmark, and now Germany are converging on a shared platform designed for transport, command and control, indirect fire, and a wide range of support roles. For NATO planners, this approach reduces fragmentation, simplifies logistics, and creates economies of scale that individual national programs cannot achieve alone. The choice of a 6x6 configuration is itself telling. Compared to heavier 8x8 vehicles or tracked infantry fighting vehicles, the Patria 6x6 prioritizes simplicity, reliability, and cost efficiency. It is lighter, easier to maintain, and better suited for large-scale deployment across dispersed units. In a war defined by attrition, the ability to keep vehicles running matters as much as armor thickness. Germany's decision signals a recognition that not every battlefield role requires the heaviest possible platform. Instead, modern land forces need layered capabilities where heavy units deliver decisive shock while lighter, more numerous vehicles sustain tempo, logistics, and indirect fire. One of the most significant aspects of the German order is the integration of the Nemo 120mm mortar system. Recent conflicts have reinforced the centrality of indirect fire in modern warfare. Mortars offer rapid responsiveness, high rates of fire, and flexibility in complex terrain. Mounted on a wheeled platform, the Nemo system enables shoot-and-scoot tactics that reduce vulnerability to counter-battery fire. For Germany, this combination provides mobile fire support that can accompany mechanized units without the logistical burden of heavier artillery systems. It reflects a shift toward distributed firepower, where smaller units possess organic capabilities that once required larger formations. The industrial dimension of the decision is equally important. By adopting a Finnish-designed platform within a multinational program, Germany is effectively endorsing a new model of European defense industrial cooperation. Rather than competing national champions producing parallel solutions, the Common Armoured Vehicle System emphasizes shared development, licensed production, and local industrial participation. This approach strengthens supply chain resilience, a critical concern given the surge in demand for military equipment across Europe. It also reduces political risk, as no single country controls the entire production and sustainment process. For Finland, the implications are strategic. Long before joining NATO, Finland invested heavily in territorial defense, mobility, and survivability under harsh conditions. Patria's design philosophy reflects decades of preparing for large-scale conflict with limited resources. Germany's adoption of the Patria 6x6 elevates Finnish defense thinking from a national model to an alliance-wide reference point. Finland is no longer simply a consumer of NATO security. It is actively shaping how NATO structures and equips its land forces. From a broader NATO perspective, the German order sends a clear signal. European land warfare is entering a phase where mass matters again. The emphasis is shifting away from small numbers of exquisitely capable platforms toward balanced forces that combine quality with sufficient quantity. The Patria 6x6 fits this logic perfectly. It is not designed to replace main battle tanks or infantry fighting vehicles, but to complement them by enabling mobility, command, logistics, and indirect fire at scale. This layered approach mirrors lessons drawn from Ukraine, where success has often depended on sustaining operations over time rather than achieving rapid breakthroughs with limited forces. The political symbolism should not be underestimated. Germany has often been criticized for slow and cautious defense decision-making. Committing to hundreds of vehicles within a multinational framework demonstrates a willingness to adapt, standardize, and integrate more deeply with allies. It also reassures smaller NATO members that Germany is serious about rebuilding credible land forces capable of collective defense. By choosing a platform already used or adopted by several Northern European states, Germany reinforces interoperability across the Baltic and Nordic regions, areas of growing strategic importance. Looking ahead to the early 1930s, the implications become even clearer. As NATO continues to reinforce its eastern flank, demand will grow for vehicles that can be produced quickly, deployed widely, and sustained affordably. The Patria 6x6 is well positioned to become a reference platform in this category. Germany's decision is likely to influence procurement debates in Central and Eastern Europe, where similar challenges of cost, readiness, and interoperability exist. Other countries will watch closely how the Bundeswehr integrates and employs these vehicles in doctrine and training. For Finland, the long-term gain is influence rather than volume. Finnish defense industry will never match the scale of larger European producers, but it does not need to. By providing a platform that meets NATO's evolving needs, Finland secures a place at the table where future standards are set. Patria's role within the Common Armoured Vehicle System program exemplifies how a smaller nation can leverage expertise, credibility, and strategic clarity to punch above its weight in alliance structures. Ultimately, Germany's order of the Patria 6x6 is about more than vehicles. It reflects a changing understanding of what modern land warfare demands from European armies. Flexibility, resilience, and the ability to sustain operations over time are now central priorities. By embracing a Finnish-designed solution within a multinational framework, Germany is aligning itself with these realities. Quietly, and without dramatic headlines, this decision may shape how NATO fights its next land war, and it firmly places Finland at the heart of that transformation.